thanks for stopping by. Robert Kofed with Computer Creations. And today we've got a couple of special guests. Stan and Len from Lens Digital has stopped by. And what we wanted to do is share with you guys what's coming up with the new Pyburn series of rotaries. They've got some major shifts in their design, some new technology, and I just wanted to be able to have these guys show you firsthand on what's coming up. In the link in the description, I'm going to be able to give you a code that will give you a $50 discount along with a $50 free shipping credit. So you'll get a $100 discount, and I believe that's good through the end of September. And
That's
so
right.
if this is something that you guys want, I would get on it. I know I've got my order and I'm really looking forward to it. So Stan, Len, I'm going to turn it over to you, and can you share with us what's coming up for Pyburn?
Of course. But before I do that, I would remiss if I didn't take the second to thank you, Robert, not just for all the amazing work that you do. We're big fans. We're always on your channel. Whoever is not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss Robert's content. He's the best. So I have to get that out first and foremost and yeah, give everybody that value. And also I want to thank you for being a kind of an early adopter, an early believer of sorts of our brand Lens Digital and of our tools. Not only were you early to buy the Pyburn before at launch, you were also really early on the grip and all the other little accessories like the Mega Clamp. And on top of that, not only do you use the tools to their potential, you push them to the limits, which we love, you also give us back incredible feedback, like a true engineering mind. Which I wasn't surprised when you came out with your own line of products, which are absolutely awesome. If you guys don't know about the Roku Twister trays, definitely everybody should look into them. I'm sure you already do. So that engineering perspective, that critical eye, and your kind words and feedback has been a true asset to the company through the years. I wanted to get that thank you out of the way first before talking about our products. So maybe Len, I always talk too much, so I'm going to try to have Len also talk. I always talk too much on these. But
I don't talk
Len
enough. I'm sorry.
Go. So
Yeah.
now you maybe talk us through like some of the new stuff.
Oh, yes. So, I mean, we've been through 4 iterations of Pyburn since 2018. When we released Pyburn 1, then we have Pyburn 2, 3, 4, and Robert actually, we looked it up. Robert got a Pyburn 4 as pre-order in March of 2022. So thank you, Robert. And now we are introducing the new one, the Pyburn 5, or as we call it, Pyburn V, because of the
Roman
numeral, yeah, 5. So there's no more V4. It's just going to be Pyburn 5 now. And also we introduced our version of the chuck, which is called Grip, 2 years ago as well. And now we are on version 2, which we are taking pre-orders for. And there's been some huge list of improvements, which we're going to go over through.
And people are really, really excited about them. So that's what kind of we wanted to talk through. And we have a couple of cameras that are pointed at the equipment. So Robert, if you don't mind, we're going to shift cameras a little bit. And I'm going to dive into the actually, no, why don't you? Yeah. So why don't you show everybody?
And you tell them.
And we're going to do the Pyburn 5 first, because you guys, that's where we started. It is the 5th generation of the rotary that started it all for Lens Digital. And Pyburn, as you guys know, is a roller rotary. That means you've got wheels. You place your object on top of the wheels. So the friction that's created between the wheels and your object, we have a clamp that helps increase that friction, but it's the friction that's going to move your cup. That is the basic principle of a roller rotary. The reason I say that is because it's different for a chuck, but for a roller rotary, that's how it's been, and that's how it's always been. So how do you go and improve on an already excellent thing? Like, you already kind of like the Pyburn before, right, Robert? It's pretty solid.
Yep.
And it's very, very hard to improve. We keep pushing, but what do you improve on an already very solid product that's got thousands of makers really, really happy and producing a lot of great stuff? Well, we found some. We had to interrogate our makers and really ask our customers, not just what you think could be improved, but take me through your workflow. What are you currently doing? Oh, I lost this O-ring. Okay, write that down, right? Oh, I kind of futz around a little bit with this thumb screw on the lift. So here are some of these things that we improved. First of all, the first thing that jumps into your right.
I
Is-
can't take it off.
oh. So the first thing that you see right away is the wheels are different. So the O-rings have served us well. The O-rings are nice. They do create some friction, but what I always say, when you look at the O-ring, the very top of the O-ring, it's actually rounded. It's silicon, but it's a round shape. So the very top of the O-ring, there's very little surface area to work with.
Mm.
You need to really, really press it down and deform the O-ring to get some good friction. So the O-rings are no more. We did away with the O-rings, and we instead of made a custom tire, a thick, fat tire, if you have, that is very, very big on surface area and creates a ton more friction. So what's that's going to do? That's going to improve the engraving quality. That's going to improve the way that you do full wraps, even on a pie burn, and it's just going to help you with everything, right? So if you zoom in, can you zoom in? Can you see these? These are the things that I'm talking about right here.
Yeah, we can see them well, Stan.
Oh, perfect. We also did something really cool. So these rotaries now have a linear guide rail. So what does that mean for you? It means two things primarily. First, it's super simple to adjust for the length of the item. It now just takes one hand and you fix it in place with this lever, boom, it's fixed. So instead of futzing around with a thumb screw and moving that around, you're now just one hand, one motion. The other important thing that the linear rail does is that it takes away the need to ever align the rotary to the back wheels, right? So what we had before, a system that worked fine for many years, was the V-slot rail and the wheels that go inside the rail, in the grooves of the rail rather. And over time, you might get a little bit of movement there that you need to adjust and tighten. The wheels get deteriorated with time because the dust and all that. So it just needed more maintenance. So we did away with those wheels. And this linear rail, it's going to be aligned out of the box and forever. So you don't need to futz around with alignment. That's
Yeah,
a big deal for some people that don't want to.
That's a great feature. Yep.
It's
Because
really,
you know
really
it when it's out of alignment. Yep.
And not that it's a big deal to fix it, but it throws you off your workflow, right? And some people don't know how to fix it. There's actually an eccentric screw. Am I pronouncing it right? Eccentric. I always say eccentric, but eccentric screw in the PyBurn 4 and 3 that you can adjust to tighten those wheels. But some people don't know that. We wanted to get rid of that altogether. So now it's just better. The lift mechanism has been completely redesigned, and we invented a new lift mechanism. And by we, I mean lead. I know that I needed something different. So we needed to get rid of the really tall tower, that extrusion tower, that it psyched people out. It scared people because in their minds, they're thinking of smaller machine maybe, or they're doing something really close to the lip of the tumbler that's like right there, right by the end stop, right? They're thinking, oh, my laser head might have a collision with this tower. It was stopping them from doing stuff, that fear, right? So we wanted to find something that's super steady, that's very precise and smooth, and that has extremely low profile. And there was nothing. We tested the scissors, we tested all sorts of lifts that are out there, and nothing performed quite the way we wanted it. So we had to invent something. So there's actually a patent pending right now on this lift mechanism. It works like magic. It is extremely smooth. You operate it with one hand.
I see that.
And
it also looks like you've changed your tires on the tail stock as well. So
yes.
gotcha.
Yes. So there's no more O-rings. So that piece, it's a little less critical for performance.
Right.
Why? Because those are idle wheels. They're not motorized wheels. There's no power on them. They just help you rotate. But sometimes people lose those O-rings, but you need them.
Yeah.
So we changed the whole thing. We kind of splurged on that. We spared no expense on this one, and we changed that too. So custom wheels and custom tires, just so that our makers, our customers, don't have the headache of like, oh boy, I lost an O-ring.
Right.
Now I got to go to the website, buy it. I might be down for a couple of days. I don't want them to worry about it. Okay, so the other thing with this lift mechanism, the range is improved. So Robert, you're a really experienced engraver and customer of Thunder Laser. So Thunder Lasers, as you know, some of these bolt machines are extremely popular, and they're phenomenal machines. We have a bolt ourselves. You know how the new bolt, which sounds awesome. We had a chance to catch up with you on that right before the live. That was really, really cool. Or right before the recording, I should say. So the Thunder machines, the smaller ones, you either use a Roku twister tray, which are awesome. We have one. We use that. Or you can do a drop-down harness. Whatever you do, there's a tray to create a little bit more room because the Z-Travel is limited on those smaller machines. So with that, this lift mechanism goes all the way to the bottom. It actually can go below the rail, so it'll accommodate larger objects on a smaller machine. That's why it's critical. That range is critical. It can also go a lot higher. So if you're doing like a funky thing, like something like this jug, where there's just a lot of difference between the top diameter and the bottom diameter, where you need the wheels to go higher, you can do that too. There's just more range now. So there are going to be some really wild, like odd shaped items that you can do on this Fiburn in a smaller machine that you could not do on the Fiburn 4. But it's not a lot. It's not a lot. There's most things you could still do on a Fiburn 4. So what else? What am I forgetting, Len?
Magnetic feet.
Oh yes, the magnetic feet. So before this launch, the new line, the current line of products and all of our other products had an optional upgrade, a $74 upgrade for magnetic feet. And these were nice. People really like them. Why? Because you got magnets and they're fixated in there, like on the Roku tray, for instance. We always use the magnets on the Roku tray. It's just in there. It's nice and fixed. So if you bump it accidentally during changing the objects, or you're putting on something that's heavy, right? You don't want it to shift around. So instead of doing that as an optional upgrade, we wanted to simplify things. So now magnetic feet are included with every single Fiburn, and there's no upcharge. So there's no extra $74. So actually saving some on that too.
There are also a lot stronger magnets on them, so it's really hard. Like if you attach it to the bottom of your laser and it's magnetic, you're gonna have some. You have to do a workout to lift it up.
I'm gonna ask Robert a question. I'm gonna see. Can I put you on the spot just a little bit, Robert?
Sure.
So I asked Len. I did not know this. So if you don't know this, that's okay. I asked him, why is there like a little riser here? Why is there space between the magnetic feet and the magnets? He left a little bit of space. Do you know why he did that?
I don't know why he did that.
He did it to prevent your fingers from being
Oh, your
pinched.
fingers. So yeah, I got you.
And I was like, oh, come on. Why did you do that? And he said, Stan, look at this thing. If we pinch the fingers of our customers, they're going to be upset and they're going to be right.
Oh,
it's
that's a
these little things-
great thought. Yep.
It's these little things that you think of. So when you put it in there, it's going to snap in place, but not hurt your fingers.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the little stuff.
And you can adjust them. You can actually move them on the rail, so you can release these screws and you can move them in a different position. On some lasers, you might not have support on the sides. It might get somewhere in the middle, so you can do that as well.
And what about on the Roku tray? It doesn't matter, right? You spread them
Doesn't matter.
wide. So for the Roku tray, you could just leave them as they come out of the box.
So
Plug that into the tray.
the feet are independent of the main rail. So you can
Yes.
slide
Yeah.
the feet up or down. Wow, that's great. Yep.
Yeah. For Boss machines, we're actually going to include a slanted version of the feet, or it's like an adapter. What are we calling it? Because
I call it like slop adapter.
slop adapt. We have to come up with a better marketing name than slop. I don't like slop, but anyway, it's made to basically conform to the contour of the laser bed in
Oh,
the
'cause
Boss.
they've got a tapered tray. Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. It's kind of like that. Most of their machines. And for the Thunderbolt, Thunder Nova 24 and Thunderbolt, we are going to be including these little trays. Not trays, sorry. The harnesses that are not as good as the tray because it's only for the Fiburn. It's only for the Fiburn, right? Like the reason why you still go and get a Roku tray is because you can do so much more stuff on that tray. But this is just to put the Fiburn in, and it gives you that extra room to engrave. Maybe
Yeah.
not as much as the Roku tray, but it still gives you enough to engrave 40-ounce Stanley, for instance, really popular. You can do that on the Bolt. Right out of the box. It comes with a harness.
Any changes on the motor or anything like that, guys?
Yeah.
Actually, yes. I'm glad you asked. So we wanted to make the Fiburn the most precise rotary on the planet. We wanted the results to be so pristine that even if you look literally with a magnifying glass, you will not be limited by the rotary. You'll only be limited by how precise your laser is. So what we went ahead and we did is we increased the reduction, the gear ratio, reduction ratio on the motor. So now the motor heats up less because there's less load on the motor, right? It needs to work less to churn the cup the same distance, and it's just much more precise because there's higher steps. You reduce the steps that the laser comes with by 4.5x. And what was the prior pie burn?
I believe
Two?
it was about 275.
2.7. So you're almost doubling the precision now, doubling the steps. 2.5, now it's 4.5. You're not exactly doubling, but you're increasing it by a good 70-80%. So that's a nice little change. We did this out of our own free will. Why? Because we're crazy. We do use a magnifying glass. We do look at that stuff, and this we do. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, you know, that's great news from my perspective, because with this new Bolt Pro 22, I'm engraving tumblers at anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 millimeters a second. And if they're, you know, if your steps are set too low, you're going to see that in your engraving. So that's fantastic news for me.
That's great. Yeah, no, you're gonna love this thing. You're gonna love this thing. Also, I would say that you don't really see this on the pie burn. It's more important on the grip, which also got a gear reduction. We'll talk about that. But on the heavier items, it's nice to have that gear reduction on the very heavy items,
Longer.
because it's like
Feel it when you
you
spin
can
it, doesn't it?
there's none of this action going back and forth. You have to really zoom in. I'm being very, very nitpicky right now on the pie burn. You have to really take a look very closely. But with the gear reduction, it's just a little smoother, just a touch smoother. There's gonna be no waver, no wobble.
Great.
Okay. And oh, the clamp has been redesigned. It's awesome. So easy to remove. Take that thing. Let's say you want to throw a bat on there. This is how you remove the clamp. It is so simple now. It's also the design of the clamp is a little bit more user friendly, I would say. That little knob at the top just makes it easier on your thumbs. The screw is easier to tighten the pressure. If you need a little bit more pressure, you're doing something with a handle. Nice little usability improvement. I actually call them lifestyle improvements, right? So functionality wise, the V4 is an amazing machine.
And you can still use Mega Clamp.
Yeah. Oh, so this setup with the fat wheels, and no O-rings, and the Mega Clamp. You know what the Mega Clamp is, Robert? You have one. Do you have
Right here.
it goes up and around the tumbler. Oh, he's getting one.
Now, what I was saying, the Mega Clamp is still compatible with V5.
Yeah. So if you have that Mega Clamp, don't throw it away because it's going to be compatible with the V5. You'll use that exact Mega Clamp on the V5, Robert. You don't need to buy a new one.
That's great.
So it's all backward compatible. And with that clamp and the new tires, I think you'll be able to do a full wrap. We're still testing it, but the results are incredible with that thing. It is good. And so the other great thing about the V4 and the V5 is it's extremely user-friendly. It's extremely user-friendly. So you don't need to, there's very few moving parts. You don't need to master the jaws, you know, putting the different finger jaws in and out. You don't need to tighten and loosen anything, because that might slow you down, even if it's a couple of seconds when you're doing a large run. They add up, these seconds. It is extremely user-friendly. So when people ask me, why would I get the Fiber 5 instead of the grip? The grip is amazing, very capable. You're doing full wraps, you're doing buckets, you're doing dog bowls, stuff you can't do on a roller. But if you're just starting out and 90% of the items is good enough for you, 90%, and then you can later get a grip add-on and upgrade, right? If 90% is good for you and you're just beginner, go with the pie burn, actually. Just kind of like you started, right?
Yep.
Remember, you started with the pie burn and then you added well, because it wasn't available back then, but that was your journey as well. And that's a very common journey. Yeah.
It's awesome,
So that's
guys.
the 5. What do
Let's
you
take
think?
a look at the grip, the new grip.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the grip is definitely the star of the show. It is phenomenal. So
So should I show the one with 6 fingers?
yeah. So we have multiple different heads on these grips. So Len just showed the ones with the extenders that you can actually do a Yeti beverage bucket. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. So this is something you can do on the new grip. So this is 11 inches in diameter. It's 5.5 pounds.
Wow.
And we
This
just did
cost-
4 of these today.
Oh, my wife
This
came in
one-
and did 4.
This
So
is the grip. We did on this grip.
on a different live, by the way, on laser, I went on a different live, and I said the wrong thing. So I said these were 120. That's old information. These are $150 on the Eddie website with tax 160. So what engravers do, if you're gonna do a full wrap, you double retail. That's a lot of money for now. It takes a lot longer to engrave these. It takes over an hour to engrave these, right? How long was she here? She must have been here the whole day.
Each one was about 28 minutes, so half an hour.
Oh, no, because she wasn't doing full wraps. No.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing full wraps. She was doing design here, design here, design here, design. But if you were going to do a full wrap, that's going to take you an hour.
Right.
Still, I mean, just the ability to do that really differentiates you. So here's the new grip. Let me show you the best new feature. So you see these 6 fingers? There's now a 6 points of contact with your tumbler or whatever, or dog bowl, whatever you're doing. So you can grab them from the inside or the outside, and it lightens the load on each finger, obviously, because there's 6 instead of 3, and it just grips that item better. It's faster to tighten it. You'll actually get that really, really smooth, perfectly centered alignment right away with the 6. We think this is a great improvement. So the way we did this is we patented something called the jaw doubler. Right? Is that called the jaw doubler? Right. So all it does is it uses the same exact design of the grip, but it doubles the jaws for every single spot, and it evenly spreads the weight. It is really cool. It just performs better. We love it. The other quick improvement that you'll see right away is, remember that lift mechanism that we invented? We made the same exact thing on the grip. So instead of taking out the screws and lifting that thing up and kind of, screwing them in there again, just like you have on the old grip, now you can control perfectly both sides of your object, the height on both sides of your object. So with just like a flick of the wrist, very, very easy. So what we did is we took that lift that we did for the back wheels, and we just built a beefier, stronger version of it. Show them how strong it is. This thing is amazing. It will hold pretty much anything. It's really loose. It's solid. Like it is, I'm pressing down really hard, and it's not budging it just holds it down. And look how easy it is to go down though. Like just like that. It's like a finger. This thing is really nice. Len really outdid himself. So
Wow.
the mechanic is pretty awesome.
Yeah, major change from the previous version of the grip, because the previous version you couldn't adjust the head unless you took the screws out and manually moved it. This way it's literally just as smooth as the tailstock is. So now what's the knob on the side? Is that just to tilt it?
Yes, sir. That's right. Yep, you got it. So you got a great eye. So that adjusts the angle. So if you want to do a tapered cup or a tapered object, right? So back to what you were saying, exactly right. So when is this important? So if you wanted to go from engraving like something really, really small diameter, like a pen, all the way up to a dog bowl, you're gonna need to change the height of where they're at, because you want to get this, to the same distance of the between the object and the lens. So instead of, like you said, taking the screws out and lifting it up and putting that in, which is fine, but is it the best user experience in the world? No, I think there was improvement to be had. Now it's literally seconds. That's really, I'm excited about that one. That's really awesome. What else is new? So the linear rail also works on the grip extremely well. Same idea. The interesting thing is Robert, we don't really need the back support for most items with 6 fingers.
Yeah.
The fact that it has 6 fingers kind of, has enough support to do like crazy stuff. Show them so even like these big beer steins, the 40 ounce Stanleys, right? It's really, really, really easy to do. Really easy to do. And you don't need the back support. When you do need the back support is like if you're doing like a wine bottle that's still closed, that's still sealed, right? A wine bottle.
Yep.
So it's like something that's long and heavy, that's a full wine bottle that's going to give some weight. Then it's gonna do a little bit of this on you, even with the 6 fingers, and you cannot have any wobble whatsoever. That's when you need the back support.
Yeah, right now I'm moving fingers to the outer position. There's 2 positions you can place them on, depending on the diameter of the object. Since I'm doing a really large object, I'm gonna move them to the last hole of the base jaws.
Gotcha.
It's gonna give you a little bit more room. Also, I extended these cup stoppers,
The stoppers, yeah.
which is another thing we patented. It lets you align the cup. You'll see in a second how it works. And it's the same thing that you can see on the grip one.
Can you hear him, by the way? I don't know if the
Yep,
microphone's
yep, no, we're good. One thing I will mention on those backstoppers, for as many tumblers as I do, that I enjoy that every time I use that grip, because that way you can look and make sure that you've seated that tumbler all the way around when you're, doing your preview or whatever you're doing there. And it's just, when you're dealing with $35 and $45 tumblers like the Yetis,
Yes.
if you don't get it square, you've just ruined a tumbler. So I'm glad that's a great feature. And now, is the diameter of the hub any difference than the previous grip?
It's the same. The
It's
diameter
the
of
same
the hub is
size,
the same.
same
Yeah.
diameter. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, we do have obviously the gear reduction, which is another really, really important thing.
Right.
So this is extremely important for I think if you're gonna do high speeds, like you're flying with that Bolt Pro, you're flying at 1700, 1800, those are incredible speeds. But it's really also important for the Omtech machines or the cheaper Chinese laser machines, the more generic ones, because they're set to very, very low steps. So the Grip 1 has a direct drive, right? And what that means is there's no gear reduction, there's no belt. It's just the shaft goes directly from the motor, and that's how much the object moves. So if your laser is set to really low steps per rotation, you're kind of stuck. Where you're going to see that is on wide diameter objects, because the little wavering lines that you don't notice on something small get magnified and magnified and magnified the larger you go. So what do? We put a nice gear reduction in that. What is
Yeah.
it, 2.7x? It's now just as good as the
So for
Fiber.
the Thunder, it's 3x.
Oh, for the Thunder, it's 3x. Okay, that's fantastic.
So
Excellent.
if you have your motor set to 10,000 steps per rotation, it's gonna be 30,000 steps.
You have to set it to 30,000. That's important. That's going to be in the manual.
Yeah.
Right. So 3x, it's now 3 times more precise, higher steps per rotation than the previous grip. We think that was a needed change.
Yeah. One other thing I'll mention, guys, and I noticed this on this new machine that because I'm engraving so much faster, I've got a lot more over scan, right? My head is moving much further to the left and to the right. And because your profile on the right-hand side of that grip hub is no taller than the hub itself, I don't have to worry about if my head's going to smack any other parts of the rotary. And so
Yes.
Yeah.
it won't matter for a slower machine, but as these machines get faster and faster and faster, that's going to become more and more of an issue.
Yeah, I'm so happy you said that. That's an amazing observation. In fact, as soon as you have anything on there, the highest point is going to be, well, if you get it from the inside, if you grab it from the inside,
Yeah.
the highest point is going to be the cup. And this is true for both the grip and the Omni, even the grip and the Omni and the roller.
Yep.
For the Omni, this is super important because this really freaked people out. The tower in the middle,
Yeah.
it gave them pause because they like the overscan. They didn't want even the chance of a collision because that's a nightmare. And it shifts everything. You're gonna ruin the cup, and then you're afraid for the laser.
Right.
So this
So
is the complete
Stan,
away.
yeah, describe the Omni. So we're looking at the Omni right now, right? Where you have the roller on
Yes.
one side and the grip on the other side.
Yes. So just think about it. We actually have only 2 products. We absolutely love simplicity. We can't stand a million different things, and then you have buyer's remorse and you don't know what to get. We don't like confusion. We like clarity and simplicity. So if you think about it, we only have 2 products. We've got the roller rotary, which is the Pyburn, right? The V4 is now going to a new version of V5. And we've got the grip, which is the Chuck, right? So the version 1 is now getting an upgrade to version 2. So in reality, it's just 2 products, the roller and the grip. And if you put them all together, you get the Omni. We called it the Omni because it does everything. It literally does everything. So if you have high volume, just use the Pyburn end. Comes with a separate motor. Robert, you made this point, which I didn't even think of before you made it. And you made it already last year or even before. The point is that you get 2 rotaries in one. So something happens. I don't know what could possibly happen, but let's say you bend a pin. I don't know. Anything can happen in real life. We live in the real world. Stuff happens. So you damage one end. you still got the other one as a backup. You've still got a business. It's still running. So it's kind of like 2 rotaries for the price of one, and you get this incredible range where you can do anything you can imagine on the grip end. And then you got the faster kind of like gunslinger rotary on the Pyburn side. That's where you get them both.
Yeah, that looks fantastic, guys. So
Really.
let's talk a little bit about kind of where we're at. So right now you guys are in a pre-order status, right?
Yes, we're in the pre-order status. We're looking really, really good on the V5s. V5s are coming together. We're getting all the components to build the first 150 or so. And those are already sold. So we're gonna start shipping in October. We're gonna start shipping in October.
October, yes. So the Pyburn 5, probably somewhere mid-October. The grip is gonna be November, and the Omni probably beginning of December.
So early December is where the Omni is, and between those. So the reason why we have to stagger it like that, guys, is because we actually we don't just sell retail. So we don't just sell these Pyburns on the website. We do. A lot of sales come just from customers that go browse the website or searching online. We also have a lot of sales for our partners. We value our partners greatly. So a lot of our partnered brands like Boss Laser, OhmTech Laser, great partners of ours, Thunder Laser Canada, amazing partners of ours, Eon Laser, great partners, Laguna Laser. I don't want to miss anybody, but there's a few others. So all of those folks, they have capacity. They want those machines. And the way we're kind of managing the capacity is we're giving some capacity to you, some capacity to you, some capacity on the website, right? So that's why we have to stagger things. We can't just do everything at once. We literally can't put them together fast enough. So Pyburns are going to go out October, right? Middle October, end October, like that.
Say middle October.
We're looking at middle of October. So that was the actual original date. We're going to crush it. That was the original estimate, middle of October. Next month is going to come the grip. And then soon after that, maybe end of November, early December, we're going to be shipping out the Omnis. The Omni is that ultimate rotary that has both roller and chuck.
But wait, there's one more thing.
Oh yeah, Robert, you're gonna love this. I don't know if you've seen this thing. It's a new product. It's called the Galvo Grip.
Oh, no, I have not seen this.
So this is pretty cool. This is like kind of like if you take the Grip 2 and you strip it down to its bare most essential parts, you throw out the lift. And we went back and forth with Len on this a lot. He always wins the arguments when it comes to products, but he said you don't need the lift because all those Galvo machines, you control the height. Yeah, so that's going to be redundant, right? But you still got the tilt, you still got the 6 fingers, and you still got the gear reduction, which is important for some of these Galvos. And you can do pretty much anything on this. You can do turret mode as well. Turret mode, really, really easy. Look how simple it is. You flip it this way, and that's it. You're done.
Yeah, I use my current grip on my fiber machine as a turret more than I do anything else.
So people use that. Tell me what you do on it. People do like metal business cards and
yeah, I do coins. I do a ton of coins, and I have a jig set up and put it turret style, and it makes 6 or 8 coins at a time.
I love that so much. When somebody did that for the first time, Len and I were just like staring at it, and we're like, "What?"
Yeah, the turret capabilities will save, instead of feeding it, every time you make one single product, it can be doing its thing while you're doing something else, and it saves just a lot of babysitting time. If you're doing business cards or coins or any product, key rings, whatever, having the ability to having the ability to turn that into a turret, that's
just
great.
like another product. It's almost like having another product. You don't need to buy another rotary.
Yep.
So if you could add one of those videos that you have with the turret, maybe to the description, Robert, if I could ask you, I think it'd be really cool for your viewers to see. It is something. It's like it engraves it, then moves it, like, and engraves it again, then moves it again. It's kind of like it's just really cool to
yeah, it's kind of a step up in production, right? It's that next level production.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, and this is like, I love it when customers are so clever with the equipment that we make that they take it to a new purpose, like a new height that we didn't even imagine. Because that's the damn truth. We put together tools. All we can do is we listen to you guys, like and learn how you use it and what we could be doing better and what are the improvements. And then you guys go and surprise us with some like a thing that we never even imagined, which is really gratifying and kind of really rewarding.
Yeah, well, great. Well, tell us how, if they're interested in something like this, how do they get a hold of one?
Yeah, really, really easy. So you absolutely need to get Robert's coupon. Do we have that? Can you bring that up? Robert, do you know your coupon? Can you
Yeah,
tell that for the
it's just Computer Creations Pi. So I'll have that in the link in the description of the video. No-
Yeah, yeah. So look in the description of the video. There's the coupon. So you take that coupon, you go to lensdigital.com, Lens Digital. This is Lens Digital. And you can actually go to resources. If you're not sure exactly what to get, no problem. We got you. Go to resources and there's a article there that says help me choose, which has a video and it shows you like all the the pros and cons of each style of rotary, right? But don't freak yourself out. There's only two products in reality. And the Omni is when if you want them both, it's a little more expensive, but it's like two rotaries in one. So you choose one, you add that to your cart, and you sign out. It's super simple. We ship them every day. We're shipping dozens a day. So one more, we got you.
And to add to that, if you're buying just the grip, or if you're buying just the Pyburn 5, you can always convert it to Omni later because it's going to be compatible. You can just buy a grip add-on later on, or you can just buy the Pyburn roller add-on, and you can turn it into anything you want.
They're like Legos.
That's a great point, because a lot of times when you're starting out, maybe you can't afford the Omni, but you want,
Yes.
as you get bigger as a business, you know that you don't have to completely rebuy another rotary to get the best of both worlds. So that's a great point.
Exactly. I mean, we recommend people get the roller first.
Yeah. If you
And-
don't have any experience,
Yeah, just
get a roller.
use it. And if ever you have a need for the grip, just buy the add-on.
add it on.
Yeah.
Add it on.
Yeah.
That is a very, very common journey. I think that's the journey actually that you took, Robert. Robin Farrow took that. That mom with the laser, Emily, did that. A lot of people, it's kind of like the gateway. You started with a Pyburn, and then you're like, hey, I wish I could do drumsticks, but they fall through the wheels. Like, I need something different. Oh, grip, right? And that boom, that right there.
You just grow
add it
as a laser operator, and you're always typically looking for new things that you haven't done to
Always.
stay competitive, right? So it's one of those deals that pretty soon you need both to be able to do everything that you want to do. And the beauty of the way you've got your system set up is you're not locked into one product and then buying a whole nother
Right.
product, down the road. It's, money's tight these days. And so, me as a user appreciate that, because I know I don't have to come up with that kind of money to add to down the road.
And I'm glad you brought that up. We are very, very conscious of the fact that money is tight, and some of our makers, this is not awesome. Like, some of their sales are down 10, 20%. Like, we're seeing a slowdown. The Stanley Cups are not selling as crazy as they used to, and this is not just tumblers. This is like everything.
Everything.
And we're very, very conscious of that. And so what we did is we have this trade-in program. So for instance, for our customers, if you already have a Pyburn 4 or a Pyburn grip or maybe an Omni, we have the option to trade it in. And your coupon will still work. So you'll save a lot of money off the pre-order if you really want the new thing. You basically, you're going to fill out a form, send us, attach a couple of pictures so we can see the condition of the Pyburn that you have. Give us your order number so we know when you bought it. And what we're going to do then is we're going to give it a new home. We're going to rehome it, right? We're going to call the program Leftover Pie. So we're going to take the pie in. We're going to clean it. We're going to put the O-rings if they're missing. We're going to align it if it needs alignment, clean the parts in between the stoppers and the drive belt. Just going to make sure it's in nice working condition, and we're going to sell it back to the market as a refurbished unit. So rather than trying to build a new product that's not really up to our standards, we'd much rather have a discounted Pyburn out there that we can completely stand behind and still say this is a quality machine that you're going to love, but it's pre-owned, pre-loved, it's at a cheaper price.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I'm sure I'll be doing that with my V4. There's no doubt about that.
Well, your V4 is special. We're going to have to charge a premium for that. that's the original.
Well, it's still like brand new. It's had a million cups through it, but it still looks like the day I bought it. So That's not a big deal. So anything else we want to cover, guys? I really appreciate your time. And this is giving everybody a great overview on some of the new things that you guys have got coming up. And like I said, I'm excited for the people to get the new technology. To me, it's a great time to be in this business because things are just getting better and better and better. And it elevates all of us, you know, as far as being able to provide a better product in general. And so thank you for your work in being able to design and bring it to the market. I know that all of us that use this equipment on a daily basis appreciate it. And
Well,
yeah,
I just want to say thank you back to you again to bring that full circle. And thank you once again for the work that you're doing on a daily basis for this community. I want to say that it's a very rare treat, a phenomenal treat to meet someone who's like-minded and who thinks about the business in the same kind of philosophy that you do, and to share that journey with them. I know how you take care of your customers, for instance. We share the same values. We are not about just selling laser equipment. We're much more. We're about fostering a community, which, by the way, we're a great community. Pyburn Labs, Robert, you're on there. It's a fantastic group where people help each other grow. We're about helping customers succeed, helping makers succeed. That's the real driving force behind the company. That's the reason why we exist. We don't measure our success at the end of the year by how many Pyburns or rotaries we've shipped. No, we measure our success by how many makers we've helped. That is the true gauge of how well we're doing, Len and I, and the whole team here. We're not obviously alone. We've got Heather, who's amazing. She runs the affiliate program, does a lot of marketing for us, and does a phenomenal job creating contests and all that stuff for our innovators.
And Don.
We call them innovators. And of course, we can't forget Don, who's on Pyburn Labs, and he's on our ticketing system, replying at all sorts of hours in the night, moving mountains, just helping people be successful. And not just with the equipment, but with the business. We want to take it that extra step. And I want to finish with the fact that we're available for you. Like, we're there. If you guys ever have a question, Robert, you obviously know that you can call me at any time you want. My door is always open. But that goes to the rest of your community too. If you guys have questions, ask. We might not be able to get back to you right away, but we promise that we will get back to you. No question is too stupid. Ask, even if you're getting started and you feel like it's a stupid question, there's zero judgment. Ask it. We love you guys, and we respect the part of the journey that you're on currently, and we're going to help you along it.
Yeah, for
perfect,
sure.
guys. Yeah, I appreciate your time today. Thanks so much. And like I said, we'll look forward to all the new goodies coming in this fourth quarter. I really appreciate your time.
I
Thank
think
you
I
so
talked too much again, but I appreciate you. Thanks so much, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.